So, this afternoon's been pretty much a trip. Let me tell you what happened. So, I'm on the bus, and it's about maybe between 10 to 20 minutes, excuse me, 10 to 20 minutes to get to where I need to go. We have not yet left the station, and okay, so these black kids, these middle schoolers, one of them gets stopped, right? Before he goes to take his seat. And before he starts copping an attitude, the bus driver's basically asking him, "Excuse me, sir, do you have an ID or bus fare to get on the bus?" And this kid, he's tripping out because all the other kids didn't get ID'd. The reason he did was because he had facial hair. He looked like a grown man. And I'm just gonna say this: if you have facial hair, whether it be in middle school, high school, college, what have you, the bus drivers are going to ask you for either ID or the basic toll. So the fact that you got upset rather than thinking, "Oh, well, of course I look like a grown-up, of course he's going to ask me for my student ID." You're just going to sit, whine, moan, and groan because he was giving you a hard time. He was just doing his job. Let's just get that out the way. He was doing his job as a bus driver. And one of his buddies decided to talk some smack. And these kids, they're not educated. I've been saying they don't know anything. They are uneducated and they're mouthing off. And the bus driver's black, so of course, he's going to say something. He's an older black gentleman. He's a boomer, basically. He's a boomer black man. And the kid who was mouthing off, his friend is like, "Man, would you shut up so the guy can drive the bus?" He ain't gonna listen to his friend. He's not gonna listen to him. And the bus driver asks, "I'm trying to educate you. What's your GPA?" And the young man goes, "It's 2.8. I'm just like, so your GPA is a 2.8, which means you're more than smart enough to shut up and pay attention when a grown folk is talking to you. That got on my nerves the whole time, so I had to come on live and talk about it because it's these young black kids, like somewhere after the age of 12. My buddy can talk to you all about it. At some point after the age 12, you start to get this early angst or this attitude towards grown folk. I don't know what it is. In my personal opinion, I believe it's the company you keep. And you have one of those good friends who are like, learn to keep quiet. So a grown man, woman, whomever can educate you. And the kid who was mouthing off, he's one of those kids who thinks it's cute to make it seem like, "Oh, well, I already know this, I know that, this, that, and the third." Oh, shut up. If that were true, you wouldn't be being put on blast right now. You would stop, listen, and learn. They teach you this stuff in kindergarten. Come on now. You remember how some of the kindergartner teachers would do this? They'd shout out "Coyote," right? Stop, listen, and learn. You guys familiar with that? I got that from iZombie, but I figure it's an actual thing. Some teachers do this in their classes, but anyway. Point of the matter is, those kids had nothing to be upset about. That bus driver was doing his job. You were not standing up for your friend. You were being a complete ditz. These kids need to shut up, learn, and listen. That is their problem. Oh, I have a 2.8. Well, it'd be a 4.0 if you shut up and learn. So you're basically below an average GPA. How are you going to have close to a 3.0 or 4.0 average if you don't even know the basics of shutting up and listening to when a grown man is talking to you? Common sense. I got hungry, so I'm having a little lunch before work. But real talk. These kids need to know how to. These kids need to learn to mind their P's and Q's when the time calls for it. I was embarrassed to be black on the bus earlier. I'm telling you that right now. It's like you see it from the young black men. A grown black man is trying to educate you on something, and you just want to goof off and act like you're hot spit, which you're not. Because if you were, that 2.8 would be a 4.0 already. It's shameful, because here's the thing, and this is the crazy part about it. They don't act like this with their grandparents, if they have them. But when it comes to more of a person, let's say between 40 and 50 plus years of age, they look young enough to backtalk to. Even so, it's not right. Because if you go to your grandparents pulling that, what happens? Emergency trip to the dentist, right? Right. So there's really no point in mouthing off, not using your head as to why the bus driver was talking to your friend in the first place. Because the bus driver simply said, look, I had to stop you. You look like you're a grown man, or this, that, and the third. Because most kids, they develop early. With the men, it's the facial hair. And look at Dwayne Johnson. He was talking about his life, when he was, I think it was either 12 or 16. He already had a full-on mustache. So, of course, he was going to be carded. That's the thing. If you are a student, you need to have your card when you take transit. That's just plain and simple. Don't get mad just because he decided to call you out on it. You look like the lead singer of POD. That's what you look like. Bus drivers do not want to hear that whole, I'm a student. How are they going to tell that with the facial hair? How are they going to tell that you're a middle schooler with facial hair? Really think about it. Because this kid did look like he went to college or something. I don't know. I'm praying to God he didn't, because he was hanging with a bunch of youngsters. But anyway, Astrolites, I felt the need to have to talk to you about this before I went into work today. I'm going to go ahead and finish up eating so that I can have some strength to put in the hours and, be a boss, handle my business. I love you all. Continue to have a fabulous Friday. And for all of you WWE fans, if you have Peacock, The Hall of Fame starts at 7 p.m. tonight. So, just as a friendly reminder, I love you all. We'll talk soon. Bye.